Alright, it says I'm live. You guys can hear me. Please let me know and we will get started talking about whatever this race is going to be. I think it's anyone's best guess, but should be a good time just hanging out with you guys before the race starts. We'll try to talk some strategy and go over some things like that, but pretty much just a chill hangout, answer some questions kind of stream here. So I'll wait for the chat to pop up and we'll get rolling. So just let me know when you can hear me and we will get this started. What's up, guys? Well, it's very hot here today and humid, so yes, I have a tank top on. What's up, Eric? I see there's some people in the chat already, so let me scroll up a little bit. What's up, Pearson? I sent you an invite to the contest if you do want to join, so hopefully you got that. But that's something we're going to have to work on today. We have like 15-ish spots left in the contest, and we're kind of cutting it close. I realized this week it wasn't going to be as popular as usual just because it's the All-Star race, but if you do want to join, make sure you get in there because we need a fill, because if it doesn't fill, it's not going to run, and I want everyone to be able to play. Let's see. Alright, sorry, just rolling in the chat. What's up, everybody? What's up, dude? Nice to have you here. I need my wrench, man. Matthew says this race is trash. Probably. It's going to be a very gimmicky race today. Just going to be who survives, really, for the most part. Dr. Conley says, hope my luck lasts for the third week in a row. Yeah, Dr. Conley, I think you said you're new to the channel, but you've been doing well recently, so hopefully that continues. My advice, though, for you today, and really everyone watching this, play light, because this is not something that's going to be super easy to predict. I'm thinking place differential is probably the best way to go here, but this is going to be a very wacky race. Hunter says that's the shirt you picked. What's poppin'? It's 4 p.m. and I'm still hungover. I need NASCAR help. That's not good, Greg. If any questions, just let me know, and I'll just be here, hang out as long as you guys want to hang out before the race. Someone said sun's out, guns out, CP16. What's up, Mike? What's up, other Mike? 2 mics right in a row there. Jeremy says monkey knife fight for this race. Is that what you're doing? You find anything you like over there? What's up, Amanda? Saw you in the chat. She said leave a like. Totally agree with Amanda. Please do that. It really helps the video out. So the open is supposed to start around 6, so we'll probably have to shut this down before we get to the open because I'm sure everyone wants to watch that. Plus I have to see who advances. My guesses for who's going to advance, it's going to be Reddick, Busher, and then I think it's kind of a toss-up between Stenhouse and MDB. I don't know if you guys have any predictions on who you think's going to make it, but I'm thinking it's those 3. As far as the fan vote, probably going to end up being Bubba Wallace, although I think that was what's going to happen last year, then he ended up wrecking. I want to say McDowell got into him, but yeah, I think it's like a general consensus of those 3 guys who are probably going to advance. Sab says ice in the moonshine. We got H2O in the rocks today. H2O in the rocks. What's up? Something went wrong. Your name throws me off. It makes me feel like I'm getting an error message. No Kyle Busch hype this week. I'm just mainly kind of focusing on the place differential guys. Do I think Kyle Busch is probably going to run well? Yes, but with all the gimmicks, all the inversions, it's like I'm not really sure how deep I want to go in on these guys starting closer to the front. Like, yes, they're playable, and if Kyle Larson comes out, dominates, and just works his way back to the field every single time, it can work out. It's just I have my concerns for those guys starting pretty close to the front. What's up, brother Chris? Big Ritter says this is a stack the back race. I'm thinking it is Big Ritter because we're going to have inversions. We're going to have a bunch of gimmicks, random draws, bunch of restarts. It's going to be pretty crazy. Also, they're running the tapered spacer, so it's not going to be a regular 550 horsepower race. It's going to be like 500, 510, so it could promote pack racing, and there's $1 million on the line, and there's no other incentive to other than just to win this race. So I think we could potentially see quite a bit of wrecks. I mean, it's anyone's best guess. We haven't seen this yet, so we're kind of in the dark here. All right, let's see. Kyle says, Chris doing this live stream like he's getting ready to lay SmackDown with those guns. I figured there'd be a bunch of jokes about that, but it's just very hot here, so I went with the tank top today. Okay, so if you guys want to join the contest, because if you don't want to wait and put your DK username down in my preview video, if you guys go to my Twitter and then go to my most recent tweet, I don't know if you guys can see this on the screen right now, but wait for it to load. If you go to my most recent tweet, I put it in the reply because I tweeted out that I was going to go live. And then if you haven't already followed me, it'd be a good time to do that. But anyway, it should be in the reply here. But I don't think you guys really need me to. Yeah, right here. So this link right here, if you just click on that, it'll take you to the contest if you guys want to join. Just don't have to personally invite you. That does take a while, so just do that and it'll put you right in there. So hopefully it fills by the time this stream is over, because I got to do the projections and stuff when we have the open race going. Just making... Okay. Alright, I should probably start answering some NASCAR questions. So Luke says, Reddick, Busch, or Stenhouse will advance and Bubba will get the fan vote. I'm pretty much right on board with you, Luke. I think MDB and Stenhouse are a toss-up, but I'd be very shocked if Reddick and Buescher don't make it in. And if Buescher makes it in, he's only $5,800 over on DraftKings today. He's been pretty strong at the 1.5s this year. And also, if it's going to be pack racing, we know he's one of the better drivers at that as well. So I think Chris Buescher would definitely be one of the better plays on the slate. Also allows you to fit in like 4 studs if you want to, because the pricing is very soft today. Very, very soft. My girlfriend's here. She said, hello, handsome. What's up, beautiful? Excited to hopefully win some money today. Me too. I'm playing very light, though. But hopefully we can just win a couple bucks off of that. I'm just trying to enjoy the race for the most part. Steven says, how much is too much to have in any driver like Byron? So you're probably... So guys like Byron, I'd say Keselowski, Joey Logano are very similar plays today. I probably wouldn't go above like 40, 50-ish%. Everyone's going to have inflated ownerships today just because there's a much smaller field and the pricing is very soft. So I'm probably not going to want to go above 50+ ownership today. Maybe, I mean, on guys like that, like guys like Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, I'd really be inclined to have a lot of ownership on just because there's like zero downside with those guys. So Mike says, how does one vote on driver? I think if you go on the NASCAR website, you can still vote. I personally voted for Eric Jones, but I don't think he's going to win it, unfortunately. Let's see. I think someone just answered the cash versus GPP question for me, so I do appreciate that. Chris says, I see how he is building them guns that turn glass has to be 50 pounds. It's pretty heavy. I got ice in it today, so definitely heavier than normal. You're welcome, Peter, and yes, I am in the house. Eric says, put some respect on DiBenedetto's name. I like MDB. He's a cool guy. I think it's going to either be him or Stenhouse to get in that third open driver in. Let's see. Anyone going to the back? Not that I know of, Greg. As of right now, probably know that within a couple hours, hopefully. But if anyone goes to the back today, it makes zero difference for me because there's going to be so many inversions. Like, even if Kyle Larson went to the back, it pretty much wouldn't change anything for me. Like, it does not matter at all. Unless someone had to do, like, a drive-through penalty or something like that. Aaron says, I hope AA doesn't make it. I really don't want to roster him. I'm right there with you, Aaron. I think the best thing for us and our mental health would be Eric Almirola not making it into the All-Star race today. Because if he makes it in, he's starting in the 20s. I mean, we'd be very tempted to play him. Mike, to answer your horsepower question, I mean, in the 550, which is... I mean, it's obviously this race is going to be closer to the 550 than it is the 750. Kyle Larson's been the guy. William Byron's been awesome. The Hendrick cars overall have been absolutely dominant. The JGR cars have been solid as far as Kyle Busch. Truex and Hamlin have been fine, but those guys have been a little bit better in the 750 horsepower package. Jay says, who's going to be our cheap guy today? Well, if Chris Buescher makes it in, I think that's like that's going to be a very chalky play because he's only $1,500. He'd be starting, let's say he wins the second one, he'd be starting, what, 19th? It'd be kind of hard to pass him up. Now, he might just only finish like 13th, 14th, or 15th or something like that, unless there's a bunch of wrecks and he happens to finish top 10. But that'd be really hard to pass up. I like Ryan Newman. Of the guys that are confirmed in, Kurt Busch is way too cheap, in my opinion, then Ryan Newman's a pretty good play as well. Brandon says, you like single entry contests better or multiple entry? So on a regular week, I'm one that likes to play like 150 lineups because in NASCAR, I just really like having a bunch of lineups. Because if I'm building one and my one guy wrecks out, I mean, obviously at 150, you have way more opportunities to hedge yourself. It's just, with a sport like NASCAR, I think being able to build more lineups is usually better. Today, I'm doing single entry and 3 max and playing in a tournament as long as it fills. Because it's just hard to know what's going to happen today, really. Brandon says, hit that like button. Appreciate it, Brandon. Thoughts on leaving money on the table? Something you can certainly do today. I agree with Dude there. He says, I'm fine with leaving money on the table, especially with a much smaller field. Plus, who knows what's going to happen today? Like, we can have our educated guesses, but what happens if Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman wreck out? Those guys are going to be the chalk galore today. And if guys like Kurt Busch, Michael McDowell, Ryan Newman stay alive, get top 10s, I mean, they're going to have better scores than those guys. So I wouldn't hate, if you're building a bunch of lineups, would not hate leaving some money on the table in those. John says, ooh, all in. Oh, man. It's a scary week to be all in. Very, very scary week. But I know you've been on fire. Jay Duncan says Chastain for the first race. Yeah, I guess you could put Chastain in there as well. I mean, I think he's got a decent shot. I would be very shocked if Reddick and Buescher don't race their way in. And then after that, like I've been saying, Stenhouse and MDB I think are right there with them. And then I think maybe Ross Chastain could have potential for that as well. Maybe even a Daniel Suarez. Paul says best high price fades for 20 max. So if you want to get real bold, you could go with the Kyle Larson fade. Now, I'm not really advocating for you to fade Kyle Larson, but because he's been the absolute best driver at the low wear mile and a half tracks this year, like there would be no numbers to suggest not to play Kyle Larson. But since we have the tapered spacer, I'm thinking maybe the fast laps could be more spread out. But I am actually planning on using the open to see how they're racing. Like Ryan Newman said earlier in the week in an interview with Bob Pockras that it's not supposed, but he's going to assume that's going to be more so pack racing, kind of like a mini super speedway race. And if that's the case, it'd be like trying to build lines for a super speedway where we'd pretty much just full on fade Kyle Larson. And plus we have inversions and then it's going to be weird. So I think Kyle Larson, if you want to get leverage, you could go underweight on him. And my 3 max, I am playing a Kyle Larson lineup just in case he does Kyle Larson things. But in the other 2, I will not be playing Kyle Larson. So I'll probably end up being a little bit underweight on there, assuming some people go like 2 or 3 of those in 3 maxes. Paper says, when will projections be done? Projections will be done as soon as the open race is over. Like, as soon as you get that lineup in, all I got to do is plug in the qualifying numbers, and I've already got, like, some preloaded, like, stuff for them for the projections. So as soon as that race is over, it should be, like, done like that. And then we'll be able to start building, which we should have about an hour to do so. Also, if the camera gets blurry, please let me know or something. I have not been able to check that. HBG says, Martin Truex Jr., is going to keep your lineups balanced? You can play Truex. I personally prefer Kevin Harvick a little bit more for a little bit of a cheaper price point. But Truex, between like the first like 7 drivers, or maybe even the first, like of all these drivers from 8K and above, Martin Truex might be the lowest owned of that entire bunch. So if you're looking for leverage, Truex is not a bad tournament play. We know he's good at 1.5 mile tracks. I just worry if it's going to be like a super speedway, Truex usually doesn't run very well at those. But I think since we're having the open race beforehand, obviously, it'd be kind of nice to see how these guys drive, and then we can make better assumptions. Like if we see some drivers get strung out a little bit more than what I might be like anticipating here, then I'd probably be more inclined to play more Kyle Larson because the fast laps might just be easier to predict. Because right now my projections, I do not have fast laps accounted for really, so I'm just trying to see how they race in the open, try to determine how that will go. Just a big guessing game today, but we can obviously make some educated guesses, and when there's a lot of uncertainty, usually place differential is the way to go. Which is why guys like Hamlin, Blaney, and Bowman are pretty much some of the best plays in the slate. Hunter says exposure's up yet. Absolutely not. Not until we get the open. Something went wrong says, I thought Kyle Busch gets hyped because he won Xfinity. It's completely different. For what Xfinity and Trucks did, it is completely different. Because it's the All-Star race. John says, just won your DK contest, 3rd week listening. Was close last week, if not for Harvick. Appreciate you, John. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you stay listening for future weeks. Something went wrong, says Kyle Larson secretly drives the Gen 7 car. Kyle Larson's got like extra 50 horsepower every single week. Like I'm not sure how his car is this fast. Now I was listening to the Teardown with Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi. That's the last name, right? I think they were saying Kyle Larson said that he was only going like 95% of the road course. He wasn't even like going full force is what he said. So just crazy how fast that car is right now. All right, I'm going to scroll up a little bit, see if I missed anything. Steven says, who do you like the most to win? I'm liking like a Larson or a Byron. I feel like a Hendrick car probably wins today, but I'm liking Byron, especially for DK purposes. I like Byron $8,000 starting 8th. He's been so good at the 1.5s and typically runs up front at the super speedways if we're going to see like a super speedway race, but he just tends to get wrecked a lot because he's up front. But I'm liking Byron a lot. I think Kyle Larson's the obvious play there if you're picking a winner. I mean, it's the boring play because it's Kyle Larson every single week. He finishes either first or second, but if it's not like an insane super speedway race or anything like that, Kyle Larson's probably got a good shot of winning, but all the inversions are definitely going to throw a wrench into things. What's up, Andre? How do I feel about Stenhouse? So Stenhouse races his way in. If it ends up being a lot of pack racing, I think we know Stenhouse is usually pretty good at tracks like Daytona and Talladega. And if it's going to be like a little super speedway kind of thing, it could end up working out for Stenhouse. His history at Texas, it hasn't been the prettiest thing in the world considering his average finish is at 23.7. The running position's around 20th place. But the way the cars have been running this season, definitely think he'd be viable if he's starting to the back. It's just, it never feels great rostering Stenhouse. He'd be more of a tournament play. Dustin says Byron, Bowman, both Bushes, Elliott, and Newman in GPP. So let's see. Our big dogs, we got Kyle Busch, Elliott, then you got Bowman. But yeah, I think that's pretty good, Dustin. Definitely think it's a good tournament lineup for sure. R. Stanley says it's smart to stack the back with one car up front like Chase or Kyle Busch. You can certainly do that. I mean, there's different strategies you can go. If you're not overly concerned about place differential today, you could roster guys starting closer to the front, but I think somewhere in your lineups you need some place differential. I think that's not a bad way to go, Stanley. If you think Larson can lead like the first stage and then at some point just finish out the race leading laps. Glenn says you haven't said anything about your man Blaney. I love Blaney today. I feel like he's so obvious I haven't really mentioned him because of all the confirmed drivers in the All-Star race, Blaney's starting dead last. He was awesome at Texas last year. Honestly, probably could have won the race if it wasn't for, I forget who got the caution. I forget. But anyway, Blaney's awesome at the lower 1.5 mile track. So far this season, he's kind of been skidding since that Atlanta win, but starting 17th, he's good plate racer. I mean, it's hard to see how this race is going to go. The Open's going to tell us a lot, I think, but starting 17th, there's very little downside with Ryan Blaney today. Let's see, Gerald says, don't forget the like button, guys. Let's get Chris the 100 likes before he leaves. Appreciate it, Gerald. Definitely would like to get 200 some likes. I don't know how many people are in here because it's the All-Star race. I wasn't expecting a big crowd this week, but appreciate everyone that is here right now. Amanda says because Larson is the man. He is. He's definitely the best driver out there right now. I'd be shocked if he doesn't win the championship. Matthew says, can you stack all four guys in the back? So I'm assuming, oh, you mean like just exactly where they're starting with the guys that come in. So like maybe like a Bubba Reddick, you could, although you're leaving a lot of salary on the table. But if you think it's going to be an absolute wreck fest and everyone's aggressive, it could work out if you just want to go pure super speedway. 161 people watching for the All-Star race. Not too bad. Not too bad. Definitely thought it'd be a smaller crowd than normal. Jay says Dylan is really good, mile and a half. Your thoughts? I just think he's starting a little bit too close to the front. He'd be a pure tournament play for me. Starting 5th, he's pretty much going to have to finish in the top 5, which is certainly possible. It's just with all the inversions, I just worry he happens to get bad luck on his last stage starting position. So we'll see how that goes. If I'm playing my 3 max today and my single entry, I would not have any Austin Dillon. I'll tell you that. If I'm playing 20 max and 150, I'll start dabbling into some Austin Dillon, but anything outside of 3 max, I wouldn't really play him. What's up, Phil? Just says, just got here. Is my contest full? I'm not sure if the contest is full. Does anyone have an update on that? I think last time someone said it was at 87 out of 100, but I showed, like, it's on my Twitter. If you go to my Twitter, look at my reply to my tweet that I'm going live. I put the link in there if you guys want to join. Should be able to fill up though. Let's see. Matthew says, what are you looking for in the Open? Explain more, please. To see how these guys drive, because instead of just it being a regular 1.5 mile track, we got the tapered spacer. It's going to slow down the cars. We're going to be in packs more than likely. So I just want to see how they drive and make me feel a little bit more comfortable because I guess I won't be exactly in the dark, if that makes any sense. I just want to see how they drive right now. My girlfriend says she wants a mini golf rematch. You were a little bit cold in the beginning, but after we fixed your swing, you were kind of on fire at the end. I still have to check our score, but I think it was pretty close. I choked on one of the last holes, but it was definitely a fun day. Definitely a fun day. Let's see. Yeah, 90 out of 100. All right, we should be able to fill that. We got like 2.5 hours. We should be able to get 10 people in there. Just need some people to join. Let's see. Steve says Elliott and Kyle Busch both raced this weekend. Hot in Texas and no additional traction compound. Yeah, I mean, they were definitely good in the lower series this weekend for sure. Yes says just got here. What's the recap? I mean, I'm just pretty much guessing on playing place differential today. Yes, because I think your name's Thomas, right? Sure, that's the same profile picture number from the comments. But it was such a wild race. A bunch of inversions. everything going on, I think place differential is probably the way to go. So guys like Hamlin, Blaney, Bowman, whoever races their way in, and then good tournament targets. I'm liking Kevin Harvick a lot. I like Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, William Byron. Byron for the price point. I think he's one of the best tournament plays on the slate today. He will be in some of my single entry or 3-max lineups. I'm debating on putting him in my single entry for the YouTube contest as well. I just have a good feeling about Byron today, and he's also projecting pretty well for me. So, hoping he doesn't get wrecked or anything. Hey, dude, I appreciate you putting the DraftKings thing in there, but sometimes DraftKings does not like gambling stuff on their like links, so I'm gonna remove it just in case, because apparently they don't like DraftKings links. I think like a year ago, people's YouTube channels were getting like banned for like a week or so for having DraftKings stuff linked to them, so that's why I'm deleting it. I do appreciate you trying to help though. Let's see. Matthew says, so if it's in a pack race, would you prefer guys up front? I think that would definitely help guys like Kyle Larson, because if it's a pack race, the fast laps could be completely spread out. So we'll have to see how that goes. There should be a way to be able to track fast laps during the open race. So if they're completely spread out, that'll be definitely helpful for me, because obviously if it's not like a pack race or anything like that, which it should be, Kyle Larson could easily get like the first like 10 plus fast laps or something like that. So we'll see. Appreciate it, dude. No, he's good. I mean, that's why I've never like put it in the comments, because if I could just put the DraftKings contest link in my video every single week, I'd love to do that, but I guess I don't think it's worth the risk. $93 spots filled, awesome. Josh says, how many will be in the final field? It'll be 21 cars. So we have 17 right now, 3 in the open, then 1 in the fan vote. When are they announcing the fan vote anyway? Probably like an hour. Like when the open's going on, probably. I forget when they did last year. I just remember Bubba, he wrecked. It's like, why are you even trying so hard? Mini golf is code for asterisks. Thoughts on Newman? I think Newman's fine for the price point. He was finding his way in some of my lineups just because of the price. Also, if it ends up being a pack race, we know Ryan Newman's not too bad at that. If there's a bunch of wrecks, maybe he'll just hang out in the back and could end up working out for Newman. Although I will say, the vanilla ice cream man here, Ryan Newman, has been killing me recently. Like every single time I roster him, he'll be doing well, and then just something happens to him where he just absolutely screws me. So we are not in good terms right now. Him and Eric Almirola, definitely not too fond of them right now. Appreciate the donation, man. Do you wait to do lineups or put them in now? I would wait to do lineups, so we should know the results from the open in about an hour after, so maybe around 7 p.m. So hopefully we'll have an hour. I would wait until afterwards, because if Buescher makes it in, or Tyler Reddick, or those kind of guys, they'll end up being some pretty solid plays, because they'll have massive place differential upside. So I do appreciate the dono there. Definitely never have to do that. Thoughts on Team Stack CP16? Oh yeah, that's Rick. He said he was on his son's account. You're throwing me off with the Reese name. That's like, I remember the last name. Not really interested in doing any team stacks. Like, there's $1 million on the line. These guys aren't going to care at the end of the race. Like, they'll wreck each other if they need to. So we've seen that plenty of times with guys like Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, who seem to wreck each other almost every single time we're at a race that's got a lot on the line, like a super speedway, or I guess maybe tonight we could see that as well. Chris says Fool is going to vote in Bubba and he'll wreck all of our drivers. Would you play if Bubba gets in? Would you guys play him starting dead last? I mean, he has no downside. If we look at the heat map, he would be the worst he could do. The worst Bubba could do would be, what was that, 21 points? Yeah, 21 points. So let's say like Kyle Larson gets just strung out, happens to have issues, he finishes 17th. He could get. I mean, it's possible to want to play Bubba. Possible. I wouldn't feel good, but I don't think his ownership would be anything too crazy. I say this, but I don't think I'd play Bubba. Dude says, FYI, none of the open drivers are available on FanDuel, so you can set and rest now. Sorry, I got ice in my mouth. But yeah, I guess on FanDuel they're not adding the open drivers, which is kind of odd to me. So if you guys play FanDuel, you can just set your lineups right now. And I know the pricing is always soft on FanDuel, so you can probably just play him and Blaney Bowman and all those guys without any issues at all. Amanda says, we'll get back to in Discord when you decide. Yeah, if you guys want everyone to join the Discord, you can always join the community. It's always fun in there. It's like a 24/7 Discord. And Jack says, guys, save your money and buy AMC tomorrow instead. Buying those meme stocks are like, those are probably as much as the gamble as doing this. But I know it went up like crazy. Last time I checked, like a few months ago, it was like $13, and the last time I looked, it was like 60 some bucks the one day. So crazy stuff can happen. Something went wrong says Talladega All Star Race, everyone can win. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. I mean, I'm not sure how much I'll like it from a DFS perspective, but just as a fan watching it, I guess it'll be interesting. So. Jeremy says, yeah, your guy 27. Sorry, Chris, don't know my name on DK. No problem, man. No problem. I'll try to get the invite afterwards. Unless you want to just go to the Twitter. If you guys have just came in, if you want to join the contest, go to my Twitter. It's in like the last tweet I just put up, so you can check that out. Am I hosting a tourney this week? Yes, I am, Mukmo. That's how you pronounce your name. I have a tourney. I think there's like 5 spots left, though, so you got to go quick. 6 spots. Or no, Amanda was just telling me the time. Mike says, talk about a week to not watch lineups till the end. Yeah, for sure. Like, if you're doing good, they're just going to invert it. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be this is probably a good week for the DraftKings scoring to go down. But that was last week that happened, right? That was super annoying. Super annoying, but I'm actually kind of glad it ended up happening because I'm sure I was doing really good up until the end because I had Christopher Bell. I had, who else spun? Michael McDowell. Did Ryan Newman spin at the end as well? Like, I was very heavy on 3 of those guys, and they were doing fine. And I spun out, so I probably am glad I didn't get to watch that just fall down. The tourney's full. Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. I was a little bit worried it wasn't going to fill, so thank you guys very much. I was worried. Let's see. MC Sub says, half the open drivers are on the DK pool either. Probably just thought they had no chance. Brian says Newman screws me every time. He screws me every time too. It's probably worked out maybe once or twice this year personally for me, but it's been terrible. Gunn says, darn it, Luke, just as soon as I do that, I'll lose. What's he talking about? Oh, Luke says, guys, don't overthink it. Just stack Hendrick. Never fails. It's true. It never fails, man. Every single week, it's just the Hendrick cars. They just definitely have a leg up on the field. And I'll be interested to see if that continues throughout the year because usually we see, ebbs and flows throughout the season, but Hendrick just looks so dominant this year, but we'll see. But I guess it could kind of maybe end up being like Kevin Harvick last year where he was the absolute most dominant car and then he kind of faded at the end. But, I mean, Hendrick as a whole, though, I mean, if one driver kind of slacks off, I mean, Chase Elliott's right there, William Byron's right there, so they really don't have any downside. What's your Twitter? It should be on the screen somewhere, maybe like right there. I think it's the opposite direction, so it should be over there somewhere. Gerald says the tourney is full, but these likes aren't 190 watching. We haven't reached 100 likes yet. Smash the button. Appreciate it, Gerald. Yes, liking the video does help me out. If we can get over 100, I would appreciate it. Over under on flips tonight. Oh, gee, I don't think anyone's gonna flip. I'll take the under there. I don't think we'll see a flip. Although I wouldn't mind seeing a safe flip. They're entertaining. I just hopefully no one gets hurt. Can anyone fall a lap behind in this? Probably. I mean. No, probably not. I mean, at the end of the race, there's so many stages. I think that we'll be fine. I feel like we'll have everyone in the lead lap, especially if it's pack racing. I mean, everyone should be there in the draft. There shouldn't be a car in this race that will lose the draft. So I doubt we'll see anyone go a lap down unless they have like a mechanical issue. Kenny says, so we're making lineups just for the last 10 laps, seems like. Pretty much. Pretty much. The early stuff doesn't really matter. Unless you can get a guy that leads a good chunk of the race. But again, it's just going to keep sliding back and forth. Yeah, if someone gets lapped, they probably have some big issues. Probably have some big issues. And since there's going to be a lot of restarts, I have the stats in my article, but I'm pretty sure the 5 drivers best on restarts this year are Joey Logano, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and then I forget number 5. I'm sorry. It might be like, I don't know, number 5. I think those were the first 4, though. I had to look it back up. Brandon says, what y'all think, $20 on Byron to win 240? I don't mind that. I mean, I think Byron's got a good shot. He's great at the 1.5s this year, pretty much right behind Larson. I guess Kyle Busch is right up there with him, but William Byron's been awesome this year. And that's pretty good odds, too, so don't hate that. And really, anyone can win this race, so why not? I think my dog's barking. I don't know if you can hear that. Does Reddick win stage 1? Probably. I'd be shocked if Reddick doesn't win stage 1. He's got the track position for it, and there's not like there's a ton of laps to work with. I feel like Reddick should be able to win stage 1 in the Open. All right, scrolling up a little bit. Let's see. Jay says Kyle Busch for the sweep today. Possibly. Possibly. Dr. Conley says just won the contest for the first time. Good luck to me. Yeah, good luck to you. Hopefully you can keep that good luck up. I'm just scrolling way up in the chat, see if I missed anything really important. Someone said, please don't let Ricky in. It could definitely be a little bit dangerous if he does get in. Chris says, Andy, our relationship goal should be like C-Ben and Jules. All right, let's see. What time does the Open race start? Oh, I guess dude's got you covered, but 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern. Matthew says Matty D has best restarts. I mean, not overall. But MDB has been pretty good on restarts. Oh, Hamlin was the other one? I thought so. Franchise says, who is your Open 4 to transfer? I personally think it's going to be Tyler Reddick, Chris Buescher, and then it's going to be a toss-up between Ricky Stenhouse or MDB. And I also think Bubba should be able to get the fan vote as well. So that'd be my like 5 that I think have a really good chance to be able to get in, and obviously 4 of those could. So MC says you are all missing that the legend of Timmy Hill will win that $1 million. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but that'd be hilarious. And Jay says Bowman the Showman might win tonight. Yeah, sure. I mean, all the Hendrick cars have pretty much some of the best chances to win this race. It's really hard to bet against the Hendrick cars. Let's see. Jack says, Chatham ordering sushi, favorite roll. I've never had sushi. I've never had seafood, really. I think I had, like, salmon once, but then I thought it was chicken. Then once I was told it was seafood, I stopped eating it. But I've never ate seafood outside of that. Kyle Busch for the win today? I mean, it's certainly possible. He's actually been very, very good at the 1.5 mile tracks this season. He seems pretty much fully back for the most part. He's just starting second for DFS purposes. It's not my favorite play in the world. I'd rather play Kyle Larson, but Kyle Busch definitely has upside to win this race. I don't think anyone would be surprised if Kyle Busch wins today. Mr. Miyagi says, so after round 1, positions 8 through 12 would be inverted randomly. That's what I'm gathering. I think there's a couple of those. We can bring up the rules. I have them, so the computer's going to be slow. But yeah, for the most part, there's going to be inversions, and you guys get the idea. I think on the NASCAR website, there's a primer for it that has the entire list there. I'm not going to bring it up because it's going to be boring, but yeah. I guess my mom's watching this stream because she just texted me the seafood she gave me was halibut. So it was halibut, not salmon. Spread says, in Florida, seafood is the food. Yeah, I'm going to have to probably try seafood more when I'm in Florida because I'm going to be right by the water, and definitely it's going to be something popular down there. So, yeah, someone else said better get used to seafood moving to Florida. I heard salmon tastes like chicken or something, and I love chicken. I have that every day, so I'll probably have to bite the bullet, try some more seafood. Like 5 chats right in a row. I got to eat more seafood since I'm going to Florida. I'll try it. Hunter says, when you get to Florida, I'm hooking you up some stone crab and some redfish. So the idea of eating like lobster and crab just grosses me out. I know people love it, but I don't know. You gotta break them open. It's like, oh gosh, I don't know. Don't love it. Moving to Florida, you got seafood. You're in the South, brother. Yeah, I know. It might take me a year or 2, but I'll probably get used to it. Something went wrong, so I think Kyle Busch was the only non-Hendrick car to do really good since like the past 4 races except Dover. Larson, though, he's fast. I'm scared of him now. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely reasons to be scared of Kyle Larson today. It's Kyle Larson. All the Hendrick cars have been so good. It's insane how good they're running as a whole. Like, usually, teams will have that 1 or 2 really good drivers, and a couple of guys will be just kind of struggling, maybe just a little bit. But all 4 Hendrick cars have been like so good. It's kind of insane what they're doing right now. I don't know if they got an extra horsepower or 2 in their cars right now or something, but they probably found a loophole in the rules this year, and they're using it to their advantage because they are fast. Kyle Busch technically had practice yesterday. He was on the track. He definitely was on the track. Jack says, Stone Crab for the win, MVP. I have never had it. Never had it. Let's see. Yeah, dude says Ohio and seafood isn't correlated. I mean, yeah, the only thing we have here is Lake Erie. So it's not like we're by the ocean for anything. So pretty much everything I'd have here wouldn't be like super fresh anyway. But in Florida, on the other hand, I'll be right there. I'll be like 20 minutes away from the beach. So. Andrew says, Chris, I'm from Lorraine. Lake Erie perch is great. How far is Lorraine away from me? Maybe like an hour or so? I don't know, guys. Just seafood just kind of grosses me out a little bit. I mean, I know it probably doesn't taste much different from regular food, but land food, but I don't know. I just close my eyes and eat it. I'm sure I'll like it. Last man in DK for GPP, Byron, Keselowski, or Logano. I'll go with Byron there. I'm a big fan of Byron today. I think all three are great for tournaments, but I will side with Billy B there. Dude, you're a hero for putting all the rules there. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's confusing to remember if it's not in front of me. John says Byron over Hamlin head-to-head bet. Thanks, Chris. I don't hate that, John. I don't hate that at all. I think you definitely go with that. No problem at all. Good job, boys. We got over 100 likes. Awesome. Appreciate it, Gerald. You're the main driver of that, so thank you. Andrew says Lorraine is 30 minutes west from Cleveland. All right, I'm more so towards like Akron, Canton, so I assume probably like over an hour. Probably. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever been through there. Chris says Atlantic cod fish is the best. I live 200 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. Or it could be 200 meters. That'd probably be way too close. Never had cod either. I guess I've only had halibut. Everything else since then I've just been too scared. I've had shrimp before, actually. Let's see. Kay says, who are your favorites for the last 4 spots? You mean for the open race? I would say Chris Buescher, Tyler Reddick, tossed up between MDB and Stenhouse, and then Bubba Wallace probably will get the fan vote. Just my guesses there. Yes, round 4's got that green flag pit stop thing they have to do as well. I'm not sure Duke put that in there. Did he put that in there? No, he didn't. But yeah, there's like a pit stop you got to do as well. And yeah, then what spread says there's like pit stop rewards for the fastest or whatever it is. Not that that really does anything for DFS purposes, but let's see. Chris says Newfoundland, Canada. Oh, you're in Canada? Yeah, you're definitely right by the water then, right there. Corey says, yeah, sea bugs are gross. Like, isn't it like the insects of the sea? It's just my thoughts on it, but I don't know. I guess people like them. I guess they taste good. See, this is what happens when we have the All-Star race. We end up having like a 10-minute discussion on seafood. And I don't even like seafood. That's what the All-Star race will do to us. First round's about to start. Yeah, once we get like 6 p.m., I'll probably get out of here. Just because I'm sure everyone's going to want to watch it. And plus, I'll have to update stuff. So, once we know, like, I'll probably end up having to put Tyler Reddick in the projections starting 18th soon. So, hopefully he wins it, because that's my plan, that he wins it. Hopefully we don't have Eric Almirola or something like that throw a wrench into things. Because I did not want to play Eric today. Although I remember last year, he raced his way in from the Open, right? And then he ended up being one of the best plays. Not that that's a correlation to this year. But it's a different track, but... What's up, Sean? Heidi ho. What is that? Let's get that Gouda. Yes, let's get the Gouda. Assuming that means money. Yes, thank you, dude. It's very helpful having those in the comments. Jim says, hi, Chris. Elliott is favorite to win today. Thoughts? Oh, I think Kyle Larson's the favorite if you mean Vegas betting odds, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Chase Elliott wins. I mean, the Hendrick cars have just been so good this year, and Chase Elliott's fine at speedways as well, so I wouldn't really want to bet against Chase Elliott winning, but for DFS purposes, I wouldn't say it's my favorite play starting 6. It's risky. And he says, can you spend down 5 minutes? Can you spend 5 minutes breaking down rank now? We get enough of that in the Discord. Ever since I added that bot, you guys have been going crazy with the exclamation point in the rank. I've definitely fallen down the rankings yesterday since I was out to eat my mini golfing. Wasn't able to chat it up with you guys. Yes, left turns only. Recently, we've had a lot of left and right turns because of road courses. Today, you're only going to want left turns for sure. Jay says, I live here in Texas. It's a hot day, hot track. Yeah, Does not surprise me it's hot in Texas. It's hot here too, in Ohio. I think it's like 90 today, felt like. Bots suck. Oh, the bots are fun, dude. I even got a music bot in there now. Still got to figure that thing out. Let's see. Spread says Bubba gets right turn pick 6 option. I say if anyone's going to make a right turn, it'll probably end up being Bubba. Unless Almirola gets in there, I'd say Almirola would be more likely to make the right turn over Bubba. Upwest says, which way to the weight room? Good luck all today. LFG, just kidding, playing light too chalky. I totally agree, man. I am playing light as well. Just having some lineups in to make this race more interesting for me, but for the most part, just trying to see who's going to be $1 million richer tonight. It's pretty much my goal today. And it definitely won't be any of us because the contest sucked today. Isn't like the engineer like 50K to first? Which we know is going to be like a 500 weight tie, so it'll probably end up being like $17 to first. You'll win the engineer today and you'll probably lose money. Got in late. Thoughts on Newman? Newman is fine just for the price point, but I will say if Buescher makes it in, I would rather play Buescher over Newman personally. But if Buescher doesn't make it in, I would say Ryan Newman would be the best cheap play. But I do think Buescher makes it. Sudden surge in the chat here. Lost my spot. Paul says, I'm going to bet the open. Who would you go with outside Reddick and MDB to advance or to win? Because I guess if you're picking who's going to win the open, those guys are going to be gone. So you'd have to pick the winner of the last stage. But if you're just making another driver to advance, I would say Buescher there because you already said Reddick and MDB. They're getting nervous again. I'm nervous too. I don't know what to expect. It's going to be interesting. John says, hey, Chris, one more question. What do you think of Newman top 5 for 7-1? Ooh, I don't think I would do that. I don't think I'm going to go Newman top 5 today. I mean, obviously, yeah, the odds are fine, but I don't think I can go there. Sorry. Yeah, the package, I think, since it's Super Speedway, I mean, he's pretty solid at these. I said, since it's a Super Speedway, I guess it could be like a Super Speedway. He's obviously pretty good at those, but it's just, I think it's going to be a bit of a hybrid, so I'm not too confident in a top 5 out of Newman. Dude says Ricky could make a lot of drivers make right turn. That is certainly possible. Certainly possible. Matty D in open. Yeah, I definitely think Matty D's got a really solid chance of making the open or making the All-Star race. What about McDowell? If it's gonna be like plate racing, McDowell makes some sense. I mean, he just won the Daytona 500, and he's one of the better plate racers out there. I mean, it could work out. He's definitely only a tournament play because he's starting 11th, so he doesn't have place differential upside, like relative to where the other cheap guys will. Like if Buescher makes it in, I'd rather play Buescher over McDowell, but McDowell's fine just to get different. I feel like Newman will be more popular than Michael McDowell today. Jeremy says 92 in Columbus. My AC went out. I'm not too far away from you since you're in Columbus, but yeah, it was hot here. But your AC going out, it's pretty brutal. I apologize for that. Hopefully you had a fan nearby. That sounds terrible. Potgrass is taking Bubba to win a stage? I don't know about that. I love Bob, but I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. Something wrong says Quinn Howell versus Timmy Hill finally. That's the heavyweight battle everyone's waiting for. Alright, we got about 5 minutes left, so if you have any questions, please drop them in. Serious or not serious, I don't really care. I'm just here to hang out for the most part. Dude says this is a good night to pick a dark horse. Yeah, for sure. Especially when we don't really know what to expect. Kind of excited to watch the Open, though. I think it'll tell me a little bit of what to expect. Sean says I like Buescher. I like Buescher, too. If Buescher makes it in, I mean, he's dirt cheap. Very safe play, in my opinion. Cars are on the track. Oh. Is it supposed to start at 5:55? Am I looking at the wrong time here? The Bucks won. I know Kyrie got hurt. Wasn't his ankle or something? Chance says, I've never seen you here before, Chance, so if you're new, welcome in. Which two drivers do you think will have the lowest ownership in the tournament? So let's just exclude the drivers in the Open. I think the lowest owned driver will probably end up being either Austin Dillon or Christopher Bell. That's what my guess would be. So if you're looking for like leverage here, I mean, you could obviously play those guys. It's just because of where they're starting, or I guess Cole Custer. Like, I forgot about Cole Custer down here. That's how much interest I have in Cole Custer. I forgot about him. I think Cole Custer probably ends up being the lowest owned, and then Dillon, then probably Bell would be my guesses. Yeah, no one even asked me about Cole Custer today. I guess no one's playing him. I even forgot he was down there. I mean, he's lower priced than guys like Chastain, Bubba. Not to say anything bad against Chastain, he's fine. It's just he's not even he's not even like confirmed in here. Let's see. Jay says McDowell some pretty scary moments here in Texas the last time he flipped over several times. When was that? Was that recently? Did I forget it? I had to brush up on that. There's some things I'll remember, like from a couple years ago. I remember something about a race, and sometimes I just completely forget. Not playing Cole Ford. I mean, yeah, I have zero interest in Cole Custer. If Cole Custer makes the optimal lineup tonight, I'd be very, very surprised. Still on pace for green flag at 6 p.m. All right, we got a few minutes here because I'm sure everyone wants to go watch that instead of me just talking in the camera here. So, got a few minutes left. Sean says, when we know when they're in, and will there be a time to swap? Kind of new to this crazy stuff. So we should have like an hour, and throughout the race we'll know. Like we'll probably get news. Like the stages aren't too long, so it probably like won't be too long until we know like Reddick's in or something. I'm pretty confident in Reddick getting in and Busher. Then we'll see when he gets the third spot. Appreciate it, Upwas 967 man, also known as that. But yeah, my Discord's on my Patreon thing. It's just it's just an extra thing for people to join in on, and we just chat in there all day. It's really fun. It's really fun. Like it'll be 3 a.m. and I'll have Andy message me about something. Should I lower Larson? I mean, personally, I'm more place differential today, so I'm in my 3 max. I'm gonna play 1 Larson. So in the other 2 lamps, I won't have Larson. That's just my opinion. So like if he's gonna be, let's say Larson's like 40% owned today, I'm probably just trying to be a little bit underweight on that. I don't think he's a bad play, but my assumption is place differential is gonna be king today. So starting first, I have a little bit scared about it. 2 hours 9 minutes to lock. It's crazy how much time we have. Yeah, it's about to be 6 o'clock, so I'll get out of here whenever you guys want me to go. If no one has any more questions, I'll get out of here. If you haven't watched the preview video, you can check that out, or you can just rewatch the stream if you were late, but I think we pretty much talked about everything. All right, I haven't seen other questions, so I think we're probably good to go. So I do... He's just replying. Okay. Anyway, so I do appreciate everyone stopping by. Notice the All-Star race, so we didn't have the biggest crowd today, but the chat was lively, and you guys do make this fun for me every single week. So shout out to you guys. I think we're the best NASCAR DFS community out there, so you guys make it awesome. So I do appreciate that. But see you guys later. Hopefully, with the drivers we want to make the All-Star race, do that in the open, and hopefully we're in a lot in that race as well. So I'll have the projections updated on Patreon, and yeah, see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Awkward, I still haven't closed the stream. Okay.